So in this video, we'll be turning these flat, raw files into these beautiful, if I can say so myself, portrait shots using Luminar Neo with an added touch of magic. So without further ado, let's crack into it, because no one likes long intros. Alright, so these are the three pictures that we're going to be working with for this video. So we have got left to right picture of lovely model, picture of yours truly, lovely as well, you know, just thought I'd pop that in. And then we have this lovely picture of Esther that I took a while back, just down the south somewhere. Anyway, so we're going to be starting with this picture on the left with our model in sand dunes. It's quite a nice scene, but as you can tell, it's very dark. So how are we going to fix that? Well, we're gonna bring it back to life, trust me. Firstly, we're gonna go into the develop and we're gonna do a pretty standard first edit. We're just gonna bring in the contrast, pop up that exposure, pull up the shadows, and we're gonna just bring back the highlights. Now already, as you can see, this is a significantly better picture. So we're just gonna pull this back down to there, and we're gonna get the color, and we're going to pull in the vibrance and then pull in the saturation. Only slightly, just a little bit, just to 7 or so, just because we don't want to go too hard too soon, because you know, you got to ease into these things. You go too fast, you know, everything gets lost in the process. So from here, we're going to go and start getting into that little bit of magic that I did say just before. We're going to go into Relight AI. Now this is quite a cool little feature that is present in Luminar Neo, and we're going to use this brightness near. We're just going to bring that up. As you can see, that is highlighting just our model. That's all it's focusing on, it's just her. So we're just going to bring that up. We're going to go to about 40, 41. I quite like that. It looks pretty natural. And now from here, we have a pretty good base to work with. We've got a nice clear shot. Everything is all in focus, and it's all looking pretty good. So now we're going to go down, add a little bit more magic, and we're going to go Face AI. Now in the Face AI, there is this feature called Face Light, and it just lights up literally the face. It just figures out where the face is and it will light that up. So we're just going to use that, bring it up to about 26, not too much because we don't want to go too hard because it's going to look a bit weird. And then we're just going to get rid of that, just a tiny little bit. And then next we're going to go into the Skin AI. So same sort of process. We have got all this. It's sort of just like an adjustment. So if you zoom in, we go up a little bit and just see how it softens it. Now you can go ham and soften the skin fully, but then it looks a bit fake. So we're just going to bring it in to about a 17. So only that, it's just softened it up a little bit. Maybe we go, yeah. We won't go too hard because then it looks a bit silly. And we don't want silly, we want nice. So I'll minimize that. Then we're going to go up into the Erase tab and we're going to open that up. And then we're going to just go and do some erasing just around here. So just going to bring it in over here, open up Erase, and we're just going to start getting rid of all this hair that's just in her face. We don't want that. No one wants hair in their face. Trust me, it's very annoying. And we're just going to go up and get rid of some of this hair just here. Just these little ones that are in the wind, flying away in the wind. We're going to pretend that it was a windless day out there, when in fact it was incredibly windy, as you can tell. So we're just going to click Erase, and as you can see, it's done a pretty good job. Now we're just going to do another one just here because it's just gotten a bit confused. Press Erase again, and now we're looking pretty good. So that's it. Now we have got, as you can see, there is like the strands there, but we're just going to ignore that because when you look back at the picture from its entirety, you're not really going to see those little hairs. But as I've shown you, now you're going to see them, so try not to see them. Now the last little thing we're going to do is we're going to zoom in on our model's face, and we're just going to go into masking, get the brush out, and paint around her eyes. Now, as she has got quite dark eyeliner on, we're just going to bring the brightness up on that, or the shadows, just ever so slightly. Only a little bit. We don't want to go too hard because then it's going to look weird. And we just, see, even like zoomed in, it looked fine, but now it doesn't. So we're just going to bring it back just a little bit, because we want to see her face, we want to see her eyes, we want to be able to connect with the subject, because if the eyes are always covered, how can you connect with the person that you're looking at the picture or the video? You need to connect with them. So I like that. That's looking quite nice. Next, we're going to minimize that, and then we're going to go and do just a touch of relight, just so Luminar knows we're finished with the develop. We're going to open up develop, hit masking, mask AI. Now from here, we're going to click sky and see what it selects. It's done a pretty good job. Let's get the brush out, sort of help it out for the last little bit. Just like that. Just there as well. And we're just going to go up and over. Now, that's looking quite nice. Now we're just going to bring the exposure up, because the trend is to get rid of the blue sky, right? I've never fully understood it. I kind of like it, not going to lie, I do like it. So we're going to bring that brightness up, just like that. Just enough. We want to be able to see the sand still, but we don't want all the blue sky. Now, I think that's looked pretty good. And lastly, because this has been a bit of a long one, we're going to just crop in just a little bit, only because we want to have a little bit more focus on our subject. And that's the first edit. I quite like that. So, on to the next one. Alright, now, here's this picture of Esther. As you can see, she's a little bit dark. You can't really see her properly because she has got a hat on. And we're just going to fix that. We're going to fix that. So again, develop, and we're going to go in and do exposure, pull up the shadows and the contrast. Drop down the highlights, because then you won't be able to see a hat because it's just a big ball of light. So we're going to bring that down to about 41. And then we're going to pull in the blacks ever so slightly, bring up that vibrance and the saturation just a tiny bit. Now, as you can see, again, huge difference, massive difference. So let's get out of that. Now we're going to go into the relight AI. Click that again. As you can see, I quite like relight AI, especially when I'm editing portraits or anything like that. Relight AI really is such a wonderful tool to use, because then it sort of saves you having to go in and mask and do all that specific little bits and pieces. It's just one button, one little slider. It's very, very, very easy. Now we're going to pull that in. See, we're just going to get like that. And as you can see, it is lighting her up quite nicely. Now we can see all of her face, and instead of finishing on that, her hat is very bright, and it's a bit too bright. It doesn't look like we want it to, basically. So we're going to go brush. We're going to bring the brush size up. We're just going to brush over the hat, just like so. Next, we're going to pull in the highlights like that. Drop the exposure down, just adjust it. I have hit there, so I'm just going to try and clean that up like that. Now, it isn't looking that good, so we're just going to pull that back. I like that, that's better. We just, and this is a perfect example, right? If you go too hard on any of the sliders, you will end up making it look a little bit weird, and then we don't want weird, we just want nice. We want to be able to look nice. Next, we're going to get out of that. We're going to go into landscape, put a little bit of dehaze on, whack in a little bit of foliage enhancer, because there is a lot of foliage around her. And then next, we're going to go back into develop, and we're going to hit masking. We're going to go mask AI. Now, we're going to go human as well, because this is a portrait editing video, and wait for it to highlight her. Now we go back into the adjustments. We're going to give her a little bit of vibrance, just to bring the colors in her tone and her shirt and body and hair. We're going to bring that all sort of back. We're going to pull up the shadows and we're going to pull in the blacks just like that. Now, get out of that. It's looking better. It's looking a lot better, but we need to fix the darkness here. Yes, she's got a hat on, so we still have to keep it looking natural, but it's just going to be a simple case of fixing that very, very slight issue. Very, very slight issue. So we're going to get in a little brush like so, and then once we've done that, we'll zoom in, bring that zoom to 25%, that's better, and pull up the exposure. Now we're going to keep the blacks because we don't want to go too hard on this again. We don't want to, completely ruin it. We just want to get a little bit of brightness back on our subject here and make it a bit more of a usable sort of picture. So as you can see, her skin here is it's not looking the most normal, so we're just going to get rid of this part of the adjustment on her face, and that's looking much nicer. Now, once we've done that, we'll get out of that. We're going to go into the studio or the portrait area. We're going to go face AI, and we're going to do a little bit of dark circle removal on the face. And if you see, you can go all the way. You can completely, I don't know, go ham, if you want to say. We'll just do a slight little adjustments here, like so. Whiten the eyes up just a little bit. Now, as you can see, it's all looking pretty good. Now, the only thing is that it is a little bit pink, so we're going to go into the adjustment on develop, and then we're going to bring that temperature just down to a -1, like that. That's looking quite nice. Now we're going to go into the crop AI, do a 5:7 crop because I think that's going to look quite good for this picture, and we're just going to crop in so we're still keeping the subject as the main subject. And speaking of the main subject, she's just arrived home. Hello. And lastly, to finish up, we're going to go back into the develop. We're going to do a linear gradient just over this sky right here, and just give it a little bit more light, just like so. All right, I like that. That's before, that's the after. Alright, I really hope you enjoyed that video. It was quite fun because I hadn't actually edited those before, in case you missed it. That was my first time, so a lot of fun. Now, if you did enjoy this video, then do let me know down below with a like or a comment on your favorite edit, because that would be a massive help, and then we'll be able to discuss and sort of figure out which is the best, or arguably the best. And if you haven't subscribed, I would very much appreciate it, because that just, allows me to connect with you, and we can get to know each other just that little bit more. All right, now get back to whatever you were doing. Don't spend too long on the internet. And I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.